Hey everyone, welcome to the 10th episode of the Homey Podcast. I'm here today joined by Steven.
Hi everyone, nice being here again.
Were you in the, you were in the dashboards
and
episode.
one of the first, I think this is the third time actually.
That you're
third time
in
being
the,
here, so always fun.
Great to have you back. For the people who are tuning in first, I'm Abe. I'm the partnerships manager here at Homey. Steven, what do you do?
I'm the designer, one of the two designers here. Yeah.
So you design the interface and that sort of stuff.
Mostly.
Yeah. So we're here today. You joined us specifically because we both, during the last few months, did a bit of testing with vibe coding.
Yes. Yeah.
I can already hear all developers, both community developers and developers internally, screaming about vibe coding. But yeah, we're going to have a chat about what it's like, how to use it, how to not use it. Since we see more and more developers using it, and we thought it would be a fun topic to have a chat about. We're also going to have a look at the new dynamic energy prices. Yeah. Of course, the news, some new apps, and it's been a while, but we're back. Holiday.
Yeah, holiday. You've been on holiday. How was it actually?
It was great. Doing something else than working it was great. Been to Italy, beautiful country. I'll always love it there.
Nice pizza.
Of course, pizza, pasta, whatever. Enjoyed the weather, swimming, everything.
Nice.
But also glad to be back and be delving into smart homes. But as to our week, or let's say my holiday in smart home, my smart home didn't work flawlessly while I was away. So I have 4 cats, as some viewers and listeners might know, and those don't join us on holiday.
They don't?
No, they don't. So they stay at home, and we have some friends and family come over to water the plants and take care of the cats and such. So, of course, I set up some flows. I have a smart lock. I have plant sensor. So, basically, everything that needs to be taken care of during the holiday should be taken care of. And everything was working well to about 2 weeks into the holiday. And that's when I got a call from my mom, who wanted to get into the home to feed the cats.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and that's when we found out that the smart lock broke.
It always happens during your holiday, right?
Exactly. It never happens. I've been using the smart lock for, 4 years now, I believe. Possibly there was too much power on the lock. The gear broke, and it meant that the lock was spinning, so the lock is perfectly fine. It just wasn't turning the cylinder anymore. Luckily, of course, it comes with a safety cylinder, so you can still use the key if you're outside of the door. So wasn't a big hassle, but it was kind of a shame that when you have friends and family over, and of course you want to impress with your smart home, and then
it's always when you demo stuff, things break.
It always
the demo effect.
It always breaks. But I ordered a new gear and have that. But in the meantime, I've also been testing some other locks, so it was also a nice opportunity to give another lock a try. But
so your cats are still alive.
Yeah, cats are still alive.
Luckily.
They could get in with the key, and plants are still good.
Nice.
But that was basically everything that happened during my holiday. Of course, glad to be back and lots to do. You haven't been on holiday? Are there any holiday plans?
Maybe next month, but we also are saving up for the honeymoon next year, so keeping it a bit calm this year.
Exactly. But, so what did you do over the last couple of weeks?
Smart home related.
Yeah.
Actually, I used ChatGPT to enrich my smart home notifications. So there's one community member that made this app to connect Homey with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And what I did is that I received, for example, a notification when I get mail in my mailbox. And then the sensor gets triggered, and it sends to ChatGPT a prompt that says, say in a funny way that there is mail in my mailbox. So every time there is mail, I get another sentence with a joke telling me that there's mail. It also goes to the speaker. My girlfriend doesn't like it. It's a very dead joke, jokey. So I'm not the only one. Also the speakers at home. It's fun to change things up with your smart home and have your notifications be different a little bit every time. So that's my main thing I did actually.
So for me, for example, what I have is when I have a contact sensor in the mailbox, when someone opens it, it plays a little tune on the Google Nest speaker in my case, and then I just have a pre-recorded sentence that I used with a AI to text to voice model that I recorded once. Of course, it gets a bit static.
Yeah, exactly.
And this way you basically have the same, but it's a different.
So it changes up every time. So on one end, it's funny to get something else every time, but on the other end, you get used to the message you already had, and you're like, what am I hearing downstairs to the Sonos? I mean,
so it's if you can't hear it clearly, it's less or it's harder to determine what the
exactly. So you get like this really fake pun.
and how does the flow work exactly? So basically, something triggers.
Yeah, so the same as you have. I have like this contact sensor in my mailbox, and that goes to the ChatGPT prompt. Yeah. And that actually is tied to another community app that creates a voice sample, also on OpenAI. And when that gets returned, it downloads it to the Homey. And then Emil made this app that turns your Homey into a FTP server. Yeah. And that URL gets like sent to the Sonos, and that says out loud the voice bit. So it's quite complicated, but happens quite fast.
So it's basically first a prompt to generate the text. Yeah. Then you send that prompt to the other app that makes it into a MP3 or a audio file. That gets uploaded to the FTP server. And then that gets streamed to Sonos.
It's so very easy. Like
the things we do to get our smart home working.
But you have to like put like money on your OpenAI account.
Oh yeah.
For the API, it's like I put like €5 on it, and now I still have €4.98. So I think you can use it for more than a year with like €5. So it's fun to mess around with, and it's not expensive at all. No.
It's a fun way to add a bit of flair to your home. There was also some news during the weeks between the podcast episodes, between this one and the last one. Usually during summer, you see that it's a bit calmer, since of course everyone is enjoying their holidays, and it isn't usually the best moment to announce stuff. But there was some big news this summer. First on I wanted to mention is another smart home platform, Futurehome, a well-known smart home platform in Norway. Yeah. Unfortunately going bust, or at least they went bankrupt. They got bought, or there was a new investment round, and they made some changes to how their smart home works. Mm-hmm. And that didn't fit well with a lot of users, is what we saw online. Essentially, they also made a hub with some devices as well. We also have an integration with their devices, since it's mostly just Zigbee and Z-Wave devices. Mm-hmm. But they also made a hub with Zigbee, Z-Wave, and I believe that's it. Yeah. And basically they changed to a subscription model. I mean, we all need a way to earn money. In the end, we're all businesses, of course. Yeah. That's.
So what features did get locked out? Do you know that?
Yeah, so basically what they did is, before you just bought the products in the hub separately, there was no subscription. They are now changing it to a full subscription, but the products only keep working if you buy the subscription. Oh, so if you have bought the products in the past, and you then choose to not pay the new subscription, you can't use your... Ooh. They basically... As far as I read it, they are pushing an update that will basically lock you out.
And do they do more than before? Is it like a bonus on top of it, that, or you just have to pay for the same?
I believe they want to focus a bit more on energy. Okay. I haven't read that there are more features now. But of course, it's a bit of a shame that if you bought a hub, that it suddenly stops working because the manufacturer pushes an update, and if you don't pay the subscription. It's a shame. Sad for the people that, of course, it's a shame that they couldn't continue in the way that they could. That's of course hard, and you do need make a decision there. But it's a bit of shame.
Quite a heavy decision for all of your users.
To lock people out of their smart home. Good one as well. There's a bright side. We also saw this happen, of course. There was a Futurehome app, and we made sure to update it with all the devices.
Okay.
So the car charger is one of the major ones, but also the smoke alarm and some other Futurehome devices are now fully supported in the Futurehome app on Homey. So if you, of course, you can decide, hey, I want to pay the subscription, but you can also pair the devices to either Homey Bridge or Homey Pro. Give it a try as well. So that's also an option. But yeah, shame that this stuff happens. Yeah. That's a shame for both the users, essentially for everyone.
Yep.
Then next up, we're getting into the leak territory. The first one that I saw is that HomeKit. Of course, HomeKit has you are mostly an Apple user, right?
I'm an Apple fanboy. Yeah.
You have everything Apple. Do you also use a lot of HomeKit in your home?
I did use it in the past, but currently I don't. I have like this integration with Homey that puts everything to my HomePod, so I can control it through Siri. Yeah. But I don't use it actively.
Yeah, you don't use the HomeKit app on your...
No, it's a mess on my phone. Yeah, HomeKit related, yeah.
There were some leaks, of course. HomeKit, now with Matter, of course. Apple is part of Matter. They are pushing Matter. And what you also see is that Apple was using Thread before, but they used HomeKit over Thread instead of Matter over Thread. They're now also making that transition to Matter over Thread. You see manufacturers making the transition to Matter over Thread, and you see essentially the HomeKit brand being used less and less. Yeah, and there were some leaks that they might be renaming it to Apple Home, maybe alongside some new.
Makes sense, right? I mean, it's also called Home on your your home screen. So HomeKit.
Now, I believe like HomeKit, that name stems from the developer side of things. They also have WebKit, I believe, which is exactly basically the tools to go alongside web and everything. Yeah. And HomeKit was, I believe, like the developer name for everything that has to do with their smart home stuff. Yeah. But it makes sense to go to Apple Home. Yeah. What you say, the app is already called Home or whatever. I believe they use the local languages as well.
Yeah, woning in Dutch. And I think it's very confusing for people. I don't hear a lot of people like saying, oh, I really need the HomeKit integration thing.
No, it makes sense that they would make the transition. Also, curious to see what their next steps would be in terms of smart home. Also saw some leaks of new devices, maybe a display or a HomePod with a display. So
doorbell with Face ID, I also heard.
Oh, really? So, I haven't seen that one pop up. But it's fun to see Apple still paying some attention to smart home. I also always have the feeling with, for example, Google, like the other major players, that they don't really invest anything in their hardware anymore.
Yeah, Nest still is...
but they basically, as we talked about in two episodes ago, I believe, they're basically killing the Nest thermostat here in Europe. The smoke alarms aren't a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see what smart home does to these large companies. Then last but not least, another leak, but this one from our friends at Signify or Philips Hue. Yeah. I believe they accidentally put some product pages online.
Yeah, I saw.
Of course, I believe one of the biggest frustrations with Philips Hue is the Philips Hue Bridge. I mean, Philips Hue is one of the partners where we say you can, of course, there are Zigbee bulbs, you can connect the bulbs directly. But the best functionality is when you pair your Homey with the Philips Hue Bridge, since you can use all the functionality that already have in the Philips Hue app, and you can combine it with other devices. The hub or the Philips Hue Bridge is currently 10 years old.
I think it's around 10 years old already.
2015. Currently it's like the version 2.1, I believe.
Yeah, I think they updated it for Matter, or it was like a software update.
Yeah, it was a software update. So it does support Matter. Yeah. But of course you can connect a max of 50.
Yeah, something like
50 bulbs or something. Yeah. And I thought in the past, 50 bulbs. Who has 50 smart devices in their home?
You shouldn't say that.
No, I shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't see his Homey app. That's insane.
No, it's pretty easy to get a lot of devices. And in that case, what you can now do is you can have multiple Philips Hue bridges. You can connect some bulbs to one and other bulbs to the other. Yeah. The leaks contained some lights. Some new lights, I believe some outdoor lights as well. A doorbell.
Yeah, a doorbell also.
I saw pop up,
Yeah.
another doorbell, and a new bridge. I think that's the most exciting stuff for most people. Of course, these are still leaks. We don't know anything about what the new bridge will have, but most likely it could support more devices, which is a welcoming thing for a lot of users. So it's probably has a new Zigbee chip in there. And what I saw, what's pretty interesting, and that's what I want to have a chat about, is motion detection via the lights.
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah.
It isn't the first time that we see this happening. So basically how it could theoretically work is that you have multiple Zigbee bulbs connected to the bridge. And with the interference between the bulbs, it can detect if there's motion or a person. So I bet it would only work if you have maybe 2 lights or maybe a bridge and a light. Or it isn't the first thing or the first company that we see do this. Wiz, I think, also part of Signify. But basically the Wi-Fi bulbs also have this. They use the Wi-Fi interference between 2 bulbs to also detect the motion. And then actually, funny enough, the founder of Wiz, so the guy who originally founded it, or one of the founders, he's now working with Nami.
Okay.
And he explained to me, it comes from tsunami. So basically wave is Nami, as I understand it, but my Japanese is a bit rusty. And Nami is basically also works over Wi-Fi, but Nami also makes smart plugs and basically a universal standard to also do motion detection over. And I think that would be a very welcoming.
Yeah. I mean, you most of the time you put a motion sensor together with your light. So if you have them combined and you already own the light, right? It's just a matter of changing the bridge or upgrading, and you get like motion sensing. So
no, I think like it's one of the most, I believe one of the things where people get into smart home is automating their lighting.
Yeah.
And automatically turning on your lights without having to buy any additional hardware. That's pretty cool. And what I also find cool is that if it were to, of course we don't know this, but if it were to work with existing Philips Hue bulbs, like Zigbee bulbs, could be really cool that basically by upgrading the bridge, you certainly don't need any motion sensors anymore. So yeah, curious to see if that will happen. But no, I think it's a really cool technology. Do you have motion sensors in every room?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, I have smart lights everywhere. So then again, you have like motion sensors. And also, I think I mix them together with contact sensors. So which point opens first, like the door or the motion sensor, triggers my wall zone, and then...
exactly. So you use the flow or the zone activity to trigger the flows. No, I also have motion sensors in every room. In some rooms, I don't even have a light switch anymore. It's only motion sensors. That's like in my pantry, in the toilet, the bathroom, and the landing or like the stairs. I only have motion sensors. Yeah. Was a bit hesitant at first. Say, hey, is this going to work? But yeah, by tweaking it a bit, it does work really well. And yeah, would be amazing to see how this will work with the Philips Hue bulbs. I did try the Nami products once. Like we got a set of their smart plugs, and I tried it upstairs in the canteen. Okay. So here at the office in the canteen, I plugged in 3 of the Nami plugs, like one in each corner. That worked pretty well. Like I set them up, had them in there for a day, and I could pretty much reliably see if there's someone in the room. Cool thing here is that it works through walls, of course.
It works through walls.
Yeah, so as long as it's within the
range, the radio.
So it basically checks a signal, of course, between the...
Oh, that's cool. So
but if you have like a wall inside of a room or like some obstruction where typically a motion sensor wouldn't see you, it still sees you.
Yeah, like I have a motion sensor in my bathroom, and we have like the shower, but the shower window... Yeah, the motion sensor can't look through it, but that would be amazing.
Yeah, so that would basically you would need to find a place to. Yeah, I of course we are not sure how it works. Yeah, you would need to maybe put like a bulb in your like cabinet in your shower cabinet. But yeah, I'm not sure. But the technology is really cool,
Yeah.
and I think it will be amazing step forward. Of course, the next question is, would you also be able to get that status into a Homey? But it's something that we need to work out when and if this goes through. But yeah, awesome. And then talking about Signify, Steven, you actually worked there, right?
Yeah,
or you worked for Signify?
Yeah, I worked for Signify. So I worked at like this design agency, and they contracted us to have a couple of people there also helping them out. So yeah, I've been working there for I think close to 3 years. I think that was the most biggest and most fun client to work for also.
Yeah.
And so I'm also here, smart home related.
Yes.
So-
Are there any features within the Philips Hue app or that you worked on?
Yeah, like I think the biggest ones and the most recognizable ones I worked on were these the HDMI sync box.
Mhm.
So the one you put your HDMI sources in, like your Apple TV and stuff, and then creates like this ambi light behind your TV. And also like the strip they sell for behind your TV. I also worked on that.
Gradient
Play gradient
strip.
Their naming scheme is okay.
A bit funny. Yeah.
But I remember having these 3D printed mounts and testing with users how they put them behind the TV and put the LED strip behind it. Fun times.
Oh, it's also like some user testing.
I also did user testing there, and this was very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just installed one a couple of weeks ago on my monitor.
Oh, really? So you had like the pull tabs and putting them in each corner.
Yep.
Oh, that's
in
fun.
each corner, and then I use, of course, a desktop app to do the light sync.
Yeah.
Which works. Since I really like it on my, that's one of the reasons I buy Philips televisions, is because of the ambilight.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you can buy a kit or like a Govee or a Philips Hue, but I just like it built in since that's
works better,
easiest.
Yeah.
But no, I like it so much. I also put it on my monitor. So when playing games or watching a movie on the monitor, that's pretty fun.
That's cool.
Okay, that's the news. Next up, we of course want to highlight some apps since people have a lot of time during their holidays. First up, I want to have a chat about the community apps that I saw pop up. And I saw one that's pretty cool. I saw it pop up on LinkedIn, actually. Someone built a app. It's called the CGM Reader app by Matthias Jagerveld. I hope that I said that correctly. But it's basically an integration that integrates with your diabetes blood sugar sensor. So I saw one person, I'm not sure if it was a developer or just a user. He built a integration that where if his blood sugar level wasn't right, like he could have lights blink or have a Sonos speaker say
life-saving stuff.
Exactly. So, of course, these products most of the time also have an app. But if you don't have your phone anywhere near or whatever else, it's also fun that you can have your smart home
That's cool.
Alert you to if your blood sugar level is right. I believe there were 2 types of blood sugar readers that were on there. I never knew that these things were so advanced. Yeah. I mean, I did. Of course, you see some people using this stuff with their phones. That's just maybe a Bluetooth device. Not sure actually how it connects with Homey.
Mm-hmm.
If that's through Bluetooth or through a hub or anything.
Yes, I think the first medical device that gets tied to Homey, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, of course we have also with things, but that's strictly medical.
Yeah, a bit.
But yeah, I believe like it's a very cool use case to actually help. Let your smart home actually help you. So big kudos to Matthias Jagerveld for building that CGM Reader app for Homey. Also some new official apps. And apps, of course, this is what we're going to have a chat about with the whole vibe coding thing.
Yep.
So stick around for that. But yeah, we saw some new official apps, some new partnerships. First and foremost, we have Hornbach Flare Fiju. Hornbach, for the people from Europe, you might know it from Yippee-yi-yi, Yippee-yippee-yay.
Great commercials.
Yeah, great commercials. But they also have their own Zigbee bulbs lineup, which can all work with Homey through their official app. So it's a Zigbee app, which is great. You can also buy Homey at Hornbach. So you can pick up a Homey, you can pick up some lights, and be done with it. Also a new partnership with EWLink, which most people might not be that familiar with eWeLink themselves, but one of the biggest users of the platform is Sonoff.
Oh yeah.
But you also use. Do you have some Sonoff devices?
I have, I think, a contact switch or like a door switch in my shed.
And it's Zigbee.
It's Zigbee. Yeah.
Yeah. So how eWeLink works? So first, Sonoff makes Zigbee devices. They also make some Wi-Fi devices, and of course, they also make a hub that also has Wi-Fi. But instead of making their own full-own app, they use the eWeLink platform to Wi-Fi enable their devices, and that now works with Homey. So there are a few categories in there. I believe lights, sockets, and climate sensors.
Okay.
There's a lot more. So if you have any feedback or categories that you want to see in the eWeLink app, you can leave that by sending them a support request through the Homey App Store or leaving something on the Homey forum. But yeah, eWeLink now also works. So if you have some Sonoff devices that either work through Zigbee with their own hub or have a Sonoff Wi-Fi device, those now also work with Homey. Then another official one, Apollo Automation. It's been a while coming. The app was in testing for a long, long while. Do you know the device of Apollo? Maybe
I think it was like more of a homemade product, right?
Yeah.
There's like a small team, I heard.
Yeah. So a couple of guys from Kentucky in the US, and they basically make ESP home-based devices.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So some multi-sensors, a millimeter wave presence sensor, a plant sensor,
cool.
All kinds of stuff. That app is now live. It's also fully functioning with some of their devices. I do know that they are planning to add device for the currently missing devices as well. They're also very active on the forum and everything else. So look them up as well. Then before we get into the vibe coding topic, another official partnership where the app was launched, and I found this one most fun, of course, since I built the app myself.
Aha.
And that's the Whisker app. So teased it in my last in the last episode as well, is that I was working on the app. Actually got in touch with Whisker, so the company behind the litter robot litter box.
Yeah.
Which you have as well.
I bought one, and I'm using your app.
And you're using my app?
Works great.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's very fun to see. We have like this kitten. It's now 6 months old too. It also tracks the weight of the cat. So I have like this graph on my dashboard showing what the weight does. How heavy, how fat he's getting.
Oh, that's of course fun, since you can now have that in your dashboard just as an insight graph.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So very, very welcome app.
So I got in touch with the team. The app is now available for Homey Pro and Homey Cloud. So it works through the cloud APIs that Whisker uses. Currently supports the litter robot, and you can indeed also add your cat or pet directly, and it will show the age and the weight of the.
So you won't forget his birthday.
Exactly. Yeah. I put up some flows to remind me, like every morning it checks if there's a birthday of a cat within like the next week, and it will send me a reminder. Hey, it's your cat's birthday.
Buying extra tweets.
Exactly. But the thing I use it most with is have my robo vacuum drive in front of the litter robot. But I built that app as well, and I think that gets us perfectly into the main topic why we're here today, and that's vibe coding.
Yeah.
Since I think good to have a bit of background. I'm not a developer. You are not a developer. I do know a bit of coding, so I like JavaScript and HTML and what else did I have? MySQL and MyPHP, and like I know a bit of coding. I know the basics, but I always find it too daunting to really build an app. But it was one of my goals that I thought, hey, it would be cool if there's like a product at home that doesn't work yet with Homey.
And integrate it yourself.
To build an app.
Yeah.
I don't know, how are your coding skills?
Ooh, yeah. I think the same as yours. Like I had it in school, but I became a designer for a reason.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I have the basics.
Yeah. And that's what you now see a lot of on the internet, and you see a lot of jokes made about it, and some of them true, some of them don't. and that's about vibe coding. So for the people that don't know, vibe coding is basically, or at least that's what, like, if you take the most extreme way, is just, let's say you say to ChatGPT, create an app, or what I see a lot of, like on social media, a lot of videos of, that someone says, hey, create Instagram.
Yeah.
And then just kick back.
Make GTA 6.
Exactly. Just give ChatGPT or any other AI a prompt to make a program, what should be built, and a few moments later you have GTA 6 or a application that does something. You rebuild Instagram or whatever else. And of course, that's a bit of the joke here. AI is wonderful, it's great, but what you also see with AI is that AI can make mistakes.
Yep.
And that's like a bit what I wanted to talk about. Since vibe coding is a really great tool if you know how to use it, but it can also be a bit dangerous even if you if you don't know how to use it. Since of course these AI models, you have ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Grok, all these AI models that get more advanced and more advanced. Which one do you use most?
I've ChatGPT. Together with like this tool Cursor you actually recommended to me.
Yeah. So I also use ChatGPT the most. I also use a bit of Gemini since I have it in my Google like Google One subscription, anyways. Like I got the little robot. So, hey, there's no app. I did find that there was a code base in Python to interface with the cloud APIs for the little robot. But for the people that don't know, Homey doesn't use Python. We don't do Python. We use JavaScript for most stuff, or Node.js, whatever you want to call it. So what I first needed to do is, and that was the thing that I found the most daunting, is that I needed to translate that Python library to something that I could use in the Homey app. Since JavaScript I can handle pretty well, but making that translation and essentially I can't just copy the code. I needed to come up with some of my own code. And that's where ChatGPT, and especially what you're saying, Cursor. So Cursor is a coding tool you can install on your computer based on VS Code. But it basically, it's a tool, or what does Cursor do?
It's more like a program. Like you say, like VS Code, but it has like this helper beside of it that looks through your code and helps you with...
Exactly. Since that's, of course, you can just open any coding program, have your ChatGPT beside it, and ask it questions, and then copy and paste the code. But basically what Cursor does is it integrates the AI into a tab right into the program.
It reads all of your files in your project folder. So ChatGPT I used first because I was like, the same, like you're explaining, like copy the code, copy it over, and then change things. But it gets messy and it doesn't understand like everything, and Cursor is better at it. Not perfect, but better.
I think that's like the first step is when trying to do this. What you can do in Cursor is you can give it a bit of context. So you can upload documentation. So you can, for example, add the Homey SDK. You can add the SDK reference. You can, for example, add a code base from which you want to use the code in your Homey app. And it can learn, it like indexes that documentation so that it knows and it understands what it's trying to build and how it should work. And what you're saying, instead of it just copy and pasting the code, it also understands all the files that you're working on. And
also,
reference.
Like changes you made. So if you change code and it doesn't work, you can easily like revert back. And it makes mistakes often. So that's a nice fallback.
So basically how it got to work, so I got the Python codes. I started out as well with ChatGPT, and would quickly change to Cursor since I really hated copy and pasting. I thought, hey, there must be someone who have thought of this. And basically how it got to work, since I also know how AI works, and it tends to make mistakes, and it tends to think that it knows stuff, even though it doesn't. And I start gaslighting you about how you are wrong, even though the AI is wrong. So basically what I started doing, I started translating the code and just testing it and just continuously, hey, maybe if I change that. And then as soon as I had the basics were there, I could adjust the JavaScript based on what I was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked well. I finished my app. I finished the QA process here internally.
Still works at my home.
No, yeah, it's like I worked on that app for like 3 months. I did use Cursor quite a bit for like troubleshooting and finding bugs and maybe having another look at it when I was when I couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah.
But what I also found is that a lot of stuff you think goes well, it doesn't go well.
No.
Like the first thing that I noticed is that as soon as there was a mistake in the code, is that if you asked Cursor, hey, I got this bug, I can't figure it out, can you help me? And then you see it for some of the models. So you can choose the model. It can be ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, whatever. And if you choose one of the thinking models, so one of the ones that reasons with itself, you see it thinking. It's okay. The user is asking me this. Oh yeah, I found these lines of code, and I see that it goes wrong here. Oh, let me look it up. Oh, and I see that here it's referenced to there, and it thinks through your whole code, and then it starts adding code. Since that's what it always does.
Yeah, band-aids on
top of band-aids.
Yeah.
Instead of fixing the code that's wrong, it instead creates another complete file of code that then works around the error that's in the code.
I think that's the main thing that makes it messy, programming wise, and you lose a bit of the overview of what the app actually does code wise. So since most of the time it does work, but it isn't, like, for one, it probably isn't safe. No. It isn't efficient. It's bandages on top of bandages. So what I found out, like, one of the things you really need to take into account is that you need to already have an understanding of what is happening in your code. If you don't have an understanding of how the basics of the code work, or the file structure, or whatever else, you'll lose it real fast. Since it will just start adding stuff, and soon you have thousands and thousands of lines. And it's like a mess. And but it really helps. Like I said, I know the basics, right? I also already now made 3 apps, not like massive apps,
3 apps.
But 3 apps. But I think you really learn more how to code, but like the other way around. So normally you start from scratch and you add code and it doesn't work and it's like really demotivating and you quit, or at least I quit. Back to designing again. But now you actually start more with like a kind of working example, and then things go wrong and you really see like, oh, that is why it's going wrong. So you're learning the other way around a bit. And in the end you totally understand what it did, and you get the gist of it. And for me personally, that works way better than starting clean slate and okay, good luck, like you said with your Python. Like, where do I even start? So I made 3 apps now. The first one was for the NS, so the Dutch railway system. I travel by train here. I'm from Brabant. I travel...
So it's all the way in the south.
So
the country,
I take the train. It's like 3 hours one way, so it's quite a bit. And there was no Homey integration. So that really challenged me, like, okay, I want to get notified before I leave the house. With like flashing lights and things like that. That my train is cancelled, so not that I'm cycling there and I'm too late. So that really, for me, kicked it off. With like adding the Homey documentation, adding the NS API they have. They really have a nice API as well. That together really started me off creating and finishing like this train app, telling me about the timetable. So very valuable.
And then you also made one for Steam, I believe.
I also made one from Steam, like the gaming platform. We already had a nice a PlayStation one and Xbox One. And there was no
gamers always get
there was like there was no Steam one, and I thought, like, why not? Because they also have a nice API, and it kind of got addicting the first weeks. That's why I created like 3 in the first 2 months or so.
So what's the third one that you built?
The third one is very niche, but I have like this kettle boiler from Princess. And it also didn't have an integration. And I think it's talking to the backend. Yeah, the backend of Home Wizard. A lot of people don't know that. But they have like this kitchen app. And I also found another example of somebody that already made something similar. And together with that, piecing it together, I integrated it. And now it works with Homey.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have the code up in GitHub?
No.
A bit afraid?
No, a little bit. Yeah.
So for people that do want to check if there are any developers that think, I see these two noobs that don't know anything about coding talking about code. My code is up on GitHub, so please have a look. Please be kind. I did my best. One thing that I did really like is, since what I always find is that when using other code bases, when stuff in the code isn't documented, and you need to find, okay, I see that it's doing this, but where is it getting that from, and then where is it getting that from? Something that I actually put a lot of effort in, and that's where Cursor also helped, is that the logging is really clear in my app. Yeah. Like also with colors, so that if you run it through the Homey CLI, you get like the different colors for errors and for API stuff and capability stuff. And just the documentation within the code. It's just making sure that like every piece where it's worth noting something or writing something down for someone else to understand the code better. That's something where Cursor really helped. It's just, hey, I want you to look through this page. Please add documentation where it's missing or like it also made it a bit easier for myself to keep track.
Yeah, maintain.
Yeah. Since that's like one of the... Also, with the bandages over bandages, maintaining the code later on can be a bit difficult. But yeah, as long as you're like aware of what you are doing, and as long as you can keep track of what the code is doing, it's a really fun way to just experiment. Yeah. And what I just want to say, if there are any people that are maybe a bit hesitant and say, hey, not sure, I know a bit of coding, but I'm not sure if I want to build an app or give it a try. It's a really fun way to learn and give it a try. Yeah. But yeah, like I think the best example of vibe coding and not paying attention to what you're doing is I saw an image of I don't think it was serious. Yeah. But there was a guy that said, hey, I added 2-factor authentication to my app with AI, and it had like this pop-up screen where you, of course, with 2-step verification, you get a PIN code somewhere, you need to put it in. Yeah. And notification said, yeah, we just sent the codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to number, and there was the mobile phone number. Please put in the code here. So that's like a prime example of how AI can mess things up. Yeah. Is that, yes, you have a working 2 steps or 2-factor authentication, but
it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't really work in the way that you expect it to work.
Yeah, but it's a nice way to get people going. I also I don't really use Facebook, but I still look in like the Homey groups and stuff. And I saw this guy that had like this exhaustion fan for in the kitchen, the afzuigkap. And he said,
extractor hood.
Extractor hood, that's a nice word. And he said like, the code wasn't updated and now it doesn't work. And he also vibe coded a bit and made it like work again. So this is really nice to see people getting off the ground with tools like this. So it won't replace developers.
No, so for every developer, we're not saying that you will get replaced with AI. It's just like for people that want to get into coding, find it a bit daunting since it is. Yeah. It's a really easy way to learn, and it's also nice that you can just ask, explain me this code like I'm 5. Yeah. And I need that. Basically explain it like you're 5. So yeah, that's basically give it a try. Cursor is available for free.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. It's like $20 a month if you want a subscription. Of course, there are also other tools, some open source that you can use for free. You can, for example, also, I think, provide your own API keys for APIs if you have them. For these AIs. Yeah. So give it a try, give it a shot. It's fun. But please know what you're doing and be senseful, be aware of the code that you are building and publishing. Yeah. And then I think the last one Homey Energy. We launched it in December.
Around that time frame.
Yeah, somewhere at the beginning of this year
Yeah.
or late last year. One of the most requested features within Homey Energy was dynamic prices.
Mm-hmm.
For the people that don't know, when you have a home, you live somewhere, you have an energy contract, you take energy from the grid, you pay for that energy.
Mm.
Usually, or in the past that work with, hey, you buy a set amount. In the contract, you have a set price per kilowatt hours that you get from the grid. But now you see dynamic tariffs, and that's your price you pay for your energy changes based on the capacity or the load on the grid that we all use. And you could already in Homey fill in your normal tariffs. So if you had a contract of 3 years with a certain tariff, you can put that in. But dynamic tariffs has now also been added to the app.
Yeah.
So I bet you worked on the design here.
No, actually.
Actually not.
No, I wasn't the one designing that.
You weren't
a
the
little
one
bit.
here.
I helped, but I wasn't the main designer for that.
But so basically what we can do now, I can quickly grab the Homey app to show what that looks like. Since we now integrate with the dynamic tariffs, what you could already do with Homey in the past is, of course, if you were, for example, a Tibber customer, is that you could install the Tibber app, and then within the Tibber app, you could already automate based on what's available within the Tibber app. You could get your tariffs here. But what you can now do, so we have my home. I have a pretty boring home since I don't have solar panels or dynamic tariffs. I have just a very boring apartment with a Homey Energy dongle. It's all the way at the bottom. You have your prices, your electricity, gas, and water. And then if we press on electricity, we can choose dynamic here. And what you can now do, so Homey will automatically, if you live in a country where it's, or a region, I should say, where it's available, it will automatically get the country where you're living if it's available. So for us, that's the Netherlands.
Yep.
And here in the Netherlands, we have one region, and that's the whole of the Netherlands. And it will automatically get the data from the market. Yeah. So basically what your energy provider is basically also paying for a kilowatt hour of energy. But what you can also add now is you can add of course, on top of the tariff, you can also add your tax, since usually you also pay tax in the country where you live on top of that tariff. And you can add a additional maybe fee that your...
Some providers have that.
Exactly, some fee that the energy provider charges. Do you have dynamic tariffs at home?
No, I actually don't.
You also have like the boring...
Yeah, I'm boring. I have solar panels and I'm thinking about a home battery, but I don't have flexible tariffs yet.
Yeah, so for example, when you have a home battery, it gets more interesting, of course, since then you can charge and discharge your battery based on the prices. Yeah, so at the top of the interface, you also see the current price. So currently here in the Netherlands, it's about 2 cents. So 183 cents during 2 and 3, what it is currently, which is pretty cheap.
Yeah,
that's a lot cheaper than my fixed prices, which is 24 cents.
It's very sunny today. Here,
it is very sunny. So yeah, that's it gets updated per hour here. I believe we're also working on quarterly, hourly prices.
Yeah, some countries are changing also to 15-minute intervals. So
I
was working on that today, design-wise.
So that's also coming, but currently it's hourly prices. And of course, if you want to make it a bit more difficult for yourself, you can also use a formula.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same as within flows, where you have your tag or your number variable, and you can basically write a whole formula to calculate your prices. You see an example as well at the bottom here. And I think what the cool thing here is of course, within the Homey Energy overview, you also have your top consumers, which for me is currently my home server.
Oh yeah, same.
Since I watch a lot of movies that are stored on that server. My desktop PC, my TV, my fridge. But these prices will also change depending, of course, your tariffs. And if they change hourly, these will also get reflected in the prices here. So if you, for example, only charge your car when energy prices are really cheap, good chance that the price you are paying in the end for your charger is lower. So that's pretty cool to see. But yeah, it's available now. At least the moment that this podcast is live, it's available.
Yeah.
And you can give it a try in the Homey Energy tab. You can choose dynamic, choose your region. So it's available in the regions you see on the screen here, or the countries. And what's fun as well, what I saw, of course, the feature is already available in beta, or it's been in beta for a while, is that people were already sharing the tariffs for the different
making everybody
energy
jealous.
providers. Yeah. So people, for example, I saw some customers of Tibber that were like, hey, has anyone else figured out the formula you need to put in if you're a Tibber customer or a Zonneplan customer?
Okay.
That was fun to see as well. So maybe, if you have some trouble with finding it out yourself, should be on your contract, like what you are paying, especially like taxes and the additional charges. But yeah, if you can find it there, maybe post it on the forum, see if you can find it there. But yeah, what it does for me, I really want to get a dynamic energy tariff now.
Yeah, you're to use it in the app, right?
Yeah, just to give it a try. And what I really like, of course, the possibility to save a bit of costs. Yeah. Since most things in my home are smart, it's really easy to schedule based on these prices.
Makes sense.
So that was the dynamic energy tariffs, now available in the Homey app. Yeah. Give it a try. See what you are paying for the devices in your home. Check out the best buy guides, especially if you, for example, still need a whole home energy meter or a smart plug that does power measuring to see what your devices are using. Homey Energy dongle, of course, is there for people that have a P1 meter. We also have plenty of other options if you want to use something else. And that was it, the Homey Podcast.
Yes.
Firstly, no questions this episode, since it's already a bit of a long episode with everything that we talked about. But if you have any questions, please leave them for the next episode. You can leave them on the Homey forum, the YouTube comments. Where else do we post this? Spotify also has a comment section. So wherever you can watch or listen and you have a comment section, please leave your questions there. And we will get to them in the next episode of the Homey Podcast. Steven, I really want to thank you.
No problem. Fun being here.
Thanks for joining again.
Always.
Good luck with all your vibe coding projects.
I will vibe away.
And if you want to check out the apps, you can find them in the Homey App Store. Yeah. I want to thank you all for listening and watching, and see you in the next episode of the Homey Podcast.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.